To celebrate the release of Tekken 7, we're talking about Tekken, the live action adaptation. Oh boy, we're also going to be talking about our E3 2017 predictions. We're going to go through all of the conferences and more, see what we want. So stay with us.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's video game movie anatomy.
We're fighting. We're in the streets. We're fighting in Tekken City. Because that was dumb. Hi, welcome to Video Game Movie Anatomy. I'm one of your hosts, and it's Mark Donica. We got the whole squad here. Follow me on Twitter at Mark Donica. We're just going to get right into it. Yes. We got Stacey Shuttleworth.
Hi guys, Stacey Shuttleworth. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stacey Shuttledore, all over the web at Nerds Doing Stuff.
Patrick Dees.
What is up? How are you guys doing?
It's exhausted.
Exhausted. You can find me at Peter the Dees. Tweet at me and let me know, I don't know, what your E3 predictions are.
Or let us all know.
Yeah.
Join, and make sure to join us in the live chat. In case you don't know, we air this show live every 2 weeks on Monday on the Popcorn Talk Network. That may change, who knows? But make sure to join us live so that you can chat with us and become a part of the show. So we're going to start with talking about what we've been playing. Quick, to the point. It's been a couple of weeks. A couple of things came out. Patrick, you were like, I've been playing something. Last time you were playing Prey.
Yeah, I'll say really quickly, just to follow up, I totally ham-fistedly explained Prey, but I will say, if you tuned in last episode and you were kind of on the fence about Prey, I certainly was. It does get better. Just like life after high school, stick with it. Like, none of that first 5 hours matters. Prey gets real good. It gets real good. If you like those immersive sims and all the Looking Glass stuff. I'm actually playing a Devolver title. I weirdly got sucked into Shadow Warrior 2.
Not surprised.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Shadow Warrior Legacy. It's an old school Duke Nukem clone. It brings all of that forward, and it is now like the bastard child of Duke Nukem Forever and Borderlands. Mm-hmm. Amazing first person shooting with several different weapons, like chainsaws and electric swords that you can put like elemental effects on. Amazing melee combat, and the co-op is phenomenal. Not to mention, actually, the game's writing is pretty sharp. It's like what I would want out of a Duke Nukem today. I don't think that yeah, totally. But it's impossibly fun. So if you're needing a Borderlands fix and you can't wait till, I don't know, Q4 this year, when that game will inevitably come out.
Maybe.
Probably not. We're making predictions. Check this game out. I'm like 10 hours deep into this game. I played the whole thing co-op with my brother, and it's impossibly fun. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
Stacey, are you still on that grind?
That sounds way more interesting than what I'm doing.
It's so much fun.
I am still working my way through Persona.
That's huge. That's a huge game.
Yeah.
I am. So I've heard it's over 100 hours of gameplay. Yep. I am currently now about halfway in then.
Duh. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Is it a good grind?
I don't know. I'm not even sure if I
don't know yet.
Sometimes I really like it, and sometimes I'm like, okay, make it stop. Please just make it stop. And
Why are you forcing yourself to finish?
Well, because I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, well, that's fair.
It does look super cool, like visually.
Aesthetically, it's amazing.
Drips of style.
And you know what? I think I'd really like it if not for the freaking cat. There's a cat that tells you what to do, and I want the cat to go away.
Cats should never tell you what to do.
I need the cat to go away, and then I feel like I would have an immensely better gaming experience.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Is it true that you can romance the cat? Is that a thing?
Oh, God.
No, I think there's
No, that is not a thing.
Okay.
Not saying confirm or deny, I just hope not.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that is not a thing. I really hope that's not a thing otherwise. I mean, this game goes some weird places occasionally, and that would be the weirdest.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So 3 things have happened since the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
One, I finally started playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Good man!
I'm enjoying it a lot. I finally got out of the tutorial area
Yes.
just now. I'm only like 6 or 7 hours into it, but I'm liking it a lot.
Yes.
I like how I can just do stuff.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite things about it. You talked about, hey, I need this material, make a quick quest, go find it, cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I tried to play Tekken.
You did.
Before this because I'm a fan of the franchise. It's not my favorite fighting game franchise, but Tekken and I go way back. Back in grade school, I not literally owned, but I was in control of a Tekken 3 cabinet at my local bowling alley.
Okay.
For an afternoon on 1 quarter. Like, people kept trying to beat me, but I was Eddie Gordoing the hell out of them.
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
I was cheesing them like no business. But
talking all kinds of trash.
Oh, always.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Come on, you guys don't know how to beat
you play
Eddie?
a fighting game. Yeah.
You don't know how to beat Eddie Gordo just because he's new? I did not, unfortunately. I signed up for a GameFly account, which you can get a free GameFly account. They're not a sponsor, but we hope they will be eventually. And I put Tekken 7 on my list, but I got the third game on my list because that was readily available, and that's a small title called The Surge.
Tech Dark Souls, right?
Dark Souls.
Yes, sci-fi
which
Dark Souls.
Which I didn't know until I forcefully turned the game off about 45 minutes into it.
Just handed it to you?
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like the first area where you try to get an upgrade just to start on one, it gives you 3 progressively bigger enemies in a row.
Okay.
And it's like, cool, that's how you figure out the
Sure,
mechanic,
yeah.
whatever. Open up the door, that last hardest one that you had to fight, the area is just full of them. And I was like,
nope.
I forgot what dodge roll was, and then I was like, I can't. I just kept walking in, grabbing my loot, and then getting killed, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
that was it. And if I would recommend it to you, since you're a Dark Souls fan, anybody who's a
No, I'm not personally, but
no?
I think that game looked cool, right?
It does look.
Everything
it is
around
cool
gameplay looks badass.
You can beat up a bad guy who may have like a mechanical arm or whatever. You can target it so that when you defeat him, you can pick up that arm, repair it, and then put it on.
I think that it looks awesome. Dark Souls things have never resonated with me as they have with so many other people.
It gave me a really big surprise at the top where you're just learning how to do the camera, and this is you're on your way to this big tech giant that gives you all of the like upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, press this to move. And then you move and you find out your main character's in a wheelchair and is signing up for this program just so that he can walk again. And it's like,
that's kind of cool.
I like that a lot.
It's a great premise.
But then I kept dying. So that wasn't fun. And the third thing that happened was I didn't play, but I spent money on Overwatch because, damn it, I want those skins. And I got 4 repeat legendary skins. I hate it.
That hurts.
Like the first box that I popped
for you.
I was mad. I was real mad. All right, so let's talk about Tekken. Patrick, please feel free to ask any questions.
I will.
You were not able to you were not able to watch Tekken.
No, I had some family obligations show up. I skipped this one for folks at home. I'm air quoting aggressively. I can't say that I was bummed out, but I am actually really excited to hear a little bit about it from you guys.
So here's the thing that I want to give about Tekken is if you're a fan of the franchise, there is stuff to enjoy.
Okay.
There is also stuff to just be like, you have got to be kidding me.
Great.
One of the things that we talk about with our speedruns about like Street Fighter is that the costume designer is the only person who showed up.
Yeah.
These characters are the characters from Tekken. Like
Just
there's
one to
no
one.
doubt.
It is just
especially
Yeah.
especially
Well, I don't know how I feel about that fact.
Well, hold on.
I'm trying to process that.
Because there's a character in the game that was introduced Tekken 5, I want to say, Christy, who is an evolution of the Eddie Gordo character, who's got this weird, like, butt divot in her pants.
Every outfit she wears.
No
matter what.
The thing is, it was like, oh, but that's accurate. Because
Every
she
outfit.
wears that in the game, and it's like, come on.
Does it in no way actually serves the movie at all.
Well,
They
there
just
Absolutely
want to
not.
be loyal.
Oh, but they focus on it whenever they can.
It doesn't. Pardon me. That just doesn't surprise me at all.
There's a time when our lead character Jin they're walking into the arena and it's like staring at my ass won't like reward you any favors. It's like well whatever.
And then he immediately does it again. Yeah,
like-
he's just.
Well, now that you've played it out.
I mean,
Gotta do it.
the ass is its favor in and of itself. So,
Yes.
like, I feel like that's rewarding. Let me ask you this too. So, I have 2 questions off the top.
Wonderful.
One, what is your background, Stacey, with Tekken? So, like, I know Mark, you were talking about you're like really
I've
familiar with
played
it.
pretty heavily since 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly my experience with Tekken was quick 1 or 2 round matches with other people.
Okay.
Whether it was on the PS2 or, in an arcade when we just happened to be out. I was not aware until very recently that there was actually like an overarching story to Tekken.
So you're not editing the wiki.
I'm not
Okay, fair enough.
No, I mean I'll go and button mash for a while and practice some techniques, but.
So the other thing that I really wanted to know before we get too deep into this was, is the character King in this film?
No, and I'm really mad about it.
Okay, because like
King is my favorite Tekken character.
What? And like, he's a weird lion dude, or what is he? Like
It's a mask.
lion head?
It's a mask.
It is a mask. Okay,
It is a mask.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I thought it was his head for the longest time too.
Yeah.
But he's a professional wrestler, and he's just the best because that was my gateway into it. Because like, I can do spinning DDTs and vertical suplexes and Germans and all that. It's like, I absolutely loved it. So a lot of the characters featured in here are from the more recent games. There's, in terms of classic, there's just Jin and why can't I wrote it down, and Nina. and Heihachi, but not too, more of them from more recent ones like Raven. Well, no, Brian Fury is kind of a classic character too. But the one thing that it does, that's
I would never be able to call you out on it and be like, whoa, Mr. Fury was actually retconned.
They made him a cyborg too, so that's accurate to character as well.
Of course they did.
But they do what I just want any fighting game franchise that does a movie to do. It's just a tournament. It's a fighting game tournament.
Totally.
And they put all of the family turmoil storylines in there. They just make them a little bit weird. What did you think about the story of this, Stacey?
You know what? I thought it was nice and straightforward, and this was a movie about fighting, and they did that.
Perfect.
You know what?
To the point.
Mission accomplished. Yeah,
In
totally.
that respect, they achieved their goal. So,
Dude, I'm totally with you. Give me an island, give me a tournament, and that's all I need. Go fight,
No,
go punch each other.
For some reason, this is a post-apocalyptic city where corporations rule the world. Now, the weirdest thing,
Next year.
the easiest thing is it's always been the Mishima Corporation, which is the lead villain, Heihachi Mishima. That corporation, army, whatever, basic Black Ops stuff, like that evil corporations do. Basic evil corporation.
And he's a member that's of the tournament. So he's
Yes.
like CEO, founder, and like head fighter.
He's in the games. He is like the last step. He's the main boss.
bison.
He's the bison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes complete sense.
So instead
Checks
of going
out.
as easy, just going, let's name it after the game, which is the person's name, and then you get the name recognition of all of that.
Sure.
He runs the Tekken Corporation. That runs out of Tekken City. That
Tekken
hosts
City.
the Iron Fist tournament.
taking it as far as we can.
Totally.
For those of you who don't know, Tekken means Iron Fist means Tekken. Tekken
Okay.
means Iron Fist.
Perfect.
So it's the Tekken Corporation
complicated.
in Tekken City running the Iron Fist tournament.
Great.
In case you didn't get it, this is the Street Fighter movie. It's just bizarre. Like that was one of the things. Like what? And Jin lives in like squalor, and he's stealing tech to survive, and he's like doing black market grocery shopping. It's
intense
bizarre.
grocery shopping.
So the main story is Jin's family gets killed. Jin's mother gets killed by the Mishima Corporation.
Okay.
And so he enters the Iron Fist tournament. In order to get revenge on the people that killed his mother.
As you do. Classic
Yes.
boy loses family, boy fights in tournament story.
Natural.
We're, on the straight and narrow so far.
yeah, okay.
So, but the weirdest, he's this dumb kid, like 100% a dumb kid, comes home, his mom's this very experienced and wise martial artist that taught him everything that she knows.
Okay.
Just like, I might enter the Tekken tournament. And Mom's like, you will not. And he's like, no, maybe I won't. And then runs away. Storms off. Finds this random floozy, whose name we don't know. And, all right.
He brought her chocolate, though.
He brought her chocolate, which
very
is cute.
expensive black market chocolate. Was she that random of a floozy?
No, but there's indicated that there was some sort of a relationship. But here's the first best line of dialogue.
Cannot wait.
No one understands how you're alive. Maybe I'm lucky. About to get lucky. And then they start boning!
Oh, yes!
Yeah,
And while
that
they're
was the time.
boning, the Mishima Corporation is like infiltrating the mom's house. So you're like, wait, is this supposed... What's
the
happening?
weirdest cutting back and forth of literally them getting it on and then them bursting into his mother's house and like
Wait, it's jump cutting between both things?
cutting
And
between
then they, like,
the two
Amazing.
situations.
How did I not watch
He
this?
sees the search and he's like, wait, you better hide. I gotta get back to my mom. Like, it's so weird. Like, and a missile takes
Insane.
out the house. It's
Oh.
weird. It's, yeah.
It was a very weird contrast.
Yeah,
going on.
it all starts because Jin's trying to get this piece of tech to a revolutionary group who's trying to, like, rise up against the whatever. But as...
Which has no relevance in the furthering of the plot.
No,
This
that,
has
like,
nothing
fever dream. This is
to
amazing.
do.
The only thing, its purpose was for them to find Jin and punish Jin and kill Jin's mother. That's the only reason that it was there for.
Yes.
But Heihachi sends his son, Kazuya, who is very clearly more American than Japanese, even though the actor is half Japanese, half American.
Okay.
Who shuts down the Little Revolution underground thing while they're killing his mom. And says one of my legitimately favorite lines in the movie. He says, "The revolution will not be televised." It's like, that's a sweet bad guy line. That is an awesome bad guy line. But Jin wins his way by defeating martial law, who is despite in the games being a Bruce Lee knockoff character.
Oh, that's a character.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, when you said defeats martial law, I was like, good for him.
No.
I was like, what an
Marshall-
accomplishment.
My first thought when they mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, they mean the character.
Yeah, the guy.
Got
Okay.
it now.
The guy
I was like,
martial law.
single-handedly takes down martial law.
It sounds
so impressive.
Really
I know.
impressive when
I know.
you think about it.
So that he defeats he gets a wild card spot, enters the tournament, and while the tournament is happening, like there's this family turmoil between Heihachi and Kazuya. Kazuya wants to take over the Tekken Corporation. It's just nuts. It's a lot of craziness. What did you think of the fight, Stacey?
I thought overall the fights were really interesting. I mean, and I'm definitely not someone who would know like the exact techniques or if they were doing them wrong, but it looked cool to me.
How did they?
Overall,
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
that's fine.
What interests me in fighting game movies how they handle the special moves, right? Like how did that?
They didn't. Like
didn't?
that's the thing about Tekken is Tekken doesn't have like fireballs. They don't.
Right.
Like they've got
Akuma
like
now though, right?
Akuma is in it now, but they do have like some like while I do say they don't have a lot of like fireballs and stuff. There is.
Tekken lesson here.
Yes,
Here
I
we
know.
go. So
He's
Kazuya.
editing the wiki as we speak. He's like,
Kazuya is literally a demon.
oh, okay.
Literally a demon. So he's got like eye laser and wings and everything. And throughout the course of the movie and of the course of the games, you find out that Kazuya is Jin's father,
Of course he
making Jin half demon. So they're like through
sick.
that and through like magic and stuff, there is some like there is a literal ogre that breathes fire.
Okay.
That like there are those generally, but for the regular folks, it's more like I'm gonna punch you a lot.
Okay.
Sort of a
All
thing.
right, all
And
right.
and with like it's about their style and how to incorporate that style. Like Paul, who's just got a super it's like Guile 3.0.
Oh, Kid and Play. I know who exactly
Yeah.
you're talking about. 100%.
So he's
house parties up in
so
this
he's
bitch.
just got a really, really strong punch.
Okay.
That's it. So in terms, so for this,
Like-
Eddie Gordo was like super capoeira,
Which was really cool.
yeah.
To see that incorporated.
and there's a lot of
other
MMA
fighting.
incorporated, a lot of grapples. There were some I say stages, some levels where it was like, oh, this is on a 2D plane because it's just like a raised sort of a thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
There's some where it was a 3D thing. There's some where they throw them out of the stage.
That's kind of cool.
I thought the sets for the fights were really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and it definitely kind of evoked the video game feel, where it was almost like you had the character select and then the
Well, there was
stepping
Oh,
on
cool.
when Kazuya was like, "This boy looks familiar." He brings up like all information about the fighters, and it literally says "fighter select," and it's just like,
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's- yeah.
That's
It was-
pretty great.
Like,
It was
that's
a fun
the
little
thing.
touch.
It's
pretty good.
The one thing is there was the line where it's like there was a tournament. It was no game. Like they got it out of the way within like the first 5 minutes.
Great.
It's like cool. Now we don't have to
yeah,
note
yeah.
that
No,
line.
Great.
nailed it. Moving on.
Yep.
Game over. The fights were really cool. Some of the reads were really weird. They were like teasing a romance between Kristi and Jin, even though they kept showing Jin's girlfriend from the barrio.
Yeah, they kept cutting back to her, like watching hopefully and stuff.
The,
well,
the floozy that was about to get lucky.
yes.
Okay, got it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to keep coming back to her. With a line that good, you can't just
Mid-
throw that character
Fair
away.
enough.
Mid lucky.
All right.
I mean, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Fine.
It's so good.
Yeah,
I
it-
literally am going to leave here and try that out at a bar. I feel like I have to, right? Have to. How do you not use
You're
that?
obligated.
I'm obligated. It's
Okay.
too good.
You
You have
just
to
have to wait
report.
for the maybe I'm lucky.
Everything I've learned about girls is through video games. So I feel like this is
That's definitely a
It's
winner.
troubling.
As a girl, that's absolutely a winner. Yeah.
troubling, actually, I would say.
No.
Keep telling them about the
Probably
Citadel.
don't do
Yeah.
that.
That's the best way to do it. Just keep telling them about the
they
Citadel.
love that.
So they introduce Anna and Nina are these assassin sisters. That it's their character in the games as well. But they're like, here are these two assassin sisters, and then there's a scene where Jin and Kristi come back after sneaking out because the fighters can't leave the compound during the
They
tournament.
can't leave the compound, and yet they are celebrated when they walk into that
Yeah.
club.
Hey,
it's Jin!
Look at these
Wait,
guys!
What? I thought this was supposed to be a secret.
Really bizarre. But then there are these two female assassins that like try to kill them, and they're like, who was that?
Oh, really?
Like for
Who
a very
knows?
short period of time, it's just like, who the hell was that? And it's then the next day the first fight is Kristi versus Nina, and then Jin goes, I think that was one of the assassins. He's like, no shit.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
Revolutionary. How did you know?
What an ass.
Slowest kid in class. He's just catching on. Yeah.
Thanks, though.
Yeah.
Constantly throughout the whole movie.
Really? This is a running theme. You're like, come
It
on.
doesn't get better.
No, like I will have to say
Glad he
it's
punches for a living.
for
That's all I'm
Jin.
saying.
Seriously, for Jin. I mean, most of these people were not very huge actors, but they picked just a pretty new person in the martial arts scene to play Jin.
Cool.
So it was nice just to be like, oh, I can believe that is Jin.
Right.
And then for the tournament, it wasn't like, all right, you fought, now rest a couple days. It's you got another fight in like 20 minutes, so don't go away. So like Jin was like bloodied and his arm was dislocated at one point.
All right.
So it's like this is all very gritty and real and feels like a real tournament.
Sounds like blood sporty a little bit.
It was very blood sporty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was like
In weird ways sometimes.
Okay, USA. I
Did
love
you
that
ever
movie so
watch
much.
a-
I love that so much.
There was a television show around
Okay.
when we were children, and I loved it to death. It's called WMAC Masters. It was on Fox 11, well, at least for here. It was on
No,
Fox
what is
11.
it?
No? All right. So it was a martial arts show
Okay.
that was essentially Mortal Kombat for kids. It was like
Phenomenal.
Hakeem Alston, Hakeem the Machine Alston, who would come out and he had like a Terminator eye and like a staff that he would fight with.
Kano.
It was really cool, choreographed. It was pro wrestling but with martial arts, and people fought
Oh,
for
wow.
honor and respect. And you,
So this is not a drama. This was like live WWE.
it was it wasn't live. It
Okay.
was it
Oh,
was pre-recorded, but it was shot on the Universal lot. So like
Oh,
they shot
wow.
on the earthquake set.
Wow.
So like there was a time where it was like oh, and like the earthquake like realizing
I
it now.
absolutely am going to be looking this
You've
up.
got to check out
That
WMAC
just sounds
Masters.
so
Pretty
delightfully
cool.
weird
and like
awesome.
they were all like hanging out in the back, like I don't know, White Wolf. That I don't think I can. Everybody's like working out and training and like doing katas and stuff. It was really cool. It was one of my favorite things. I got the toys and the title belt.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. There's Hakeem in the middle.
That would have been my entry point to like wrestling. I feel like
Yo.
if that could have been my gateway drug, I would be the biggest WWE junkie
That'd be the
right
start.
now.
And fun fact, in the middle, Hakeem Alston was in the Mortal Kombat movie. He was the Liu Kang's first opponent, where Shang Tsung takes his soul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on the beach.
Well, I definitely remember that scene.
So that me watching Mortal Kombat, I was like, no, hey, it's the
Give
machine.
him his soul back.
All right, so everybody lost that point of reference that I was trying to do.
No, but I kind of love it.
I was really hoping. So all of his friends in the barrio while they were watching. One guy gives a Jin, come on, Jin, and then they start a Jin chant, and I was hoping that it was gonna
Jin,
like it was just gonna be a shot that left the bar and then the entire barrio and then the crowd, and it was just gonna be the entire city going Jin, Jin,
Yeah.
Jin. It didn't happen,
No, we
unfortunately.
didn't get that.
What did you have any favorite lines, any favorite parts?
You know what? I actually really liked the very first fight that we see Jin in against martial law. He
It's
was
never not funny.
I
Just,
know,
so
I
just
know.
law.
It's never-
It's law, but they gave him a
No,
full
no,
name,
no.
martial law.
I'm gonna say martial law
right.
every
Please,
single
please.
time.
He's like, it's like Jin versus fascism will be next. yeah.
Dave fascism.
Yeah.
It wasn't a phenomenal movie, I guess, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I did not
it's fun.
hate it at all.
It's
It
fun.
was
Like there's enough cheesy camp to be like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
And we really moved through it. I mean,
Yeah.
I did really appreciate
It was a
the
solid
kind
hour
of
and a half.
Non-stop. Yeah, it wasn't like, all right, now we're going to go recover.
So like maybe I'm just Tekken ignorant. Like it's always been on the periphery of the fighting game scene. How does this film get made, right? Like I don't think there's this manic fan base that says we need a movie.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay, there is.
There's a lot. That's the thing is there's a lot of deep mythology with demons and the Mishima family. Like there is some good stuff in there.
There is.
There really is.
I just don't understand fighting game movies.
But so here's the thing.
there's so many of
I
them.
pull-
I
Pulled-
want to see people beat each other up.
Legend
I
of
pulled
Chun-Li.
one review. And this is arguably, no, actually, this is defiantly,
Perfect.
And definitely the most important review of the Tekken movie that you will find, and it
Cannot
comes
wait.
from a man named Katsuhiro Harada, which, if you don't know, is the director of the Tekken franchise. To which he said, "That Hollywood movie is terrible.
Yeah.
We were not able to supervise that movie. It was a cruel contract. I'm not interested in that movie."
Okay.
Now, I'll give you that. It's not great. But it's there. This is definitely a lot more fun and less abysmal than Chun-Li.
I love it.
No, this is fun.
Sure.
I would Patrick. If,
Yeah.
Like we should have a night where we just hang out, grab some
drunk.
brewskis.
Yep.
Some
board.
brewskis, and watch Tekken. Just be
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'd watch it again.
I'd watch it again too.
In that scenario.
How many times we've been doing this for a long
Absolutely.
time? I don't think I've ever heard you guys both say I would watch this again.
I
Well,
would sit
under
down
these-
with some friends.
Yeah.
and
Under these
watch this
circumstances,
again.
there's been a couple where it's like, if we were hanging out having some bevs.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
This is one of those.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
So now, as a transition into our talk about E3, a game hit Steam greenlight today. It is a fighting game. We pulled the trailer.
I'm so excited.
I told them that I was just pulling a trailer. If we could pull that up, and let's enjoy.
I know it has to be.
Inflatality.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
what?
sorry, what? Oh.
So this is a
yes.
game
Yeah.
where you customize inflatable arm flailing tube people.
Yep.
When is
Various
this
faces. It's on Steam Greenlight today.
out? Great.
Take all of my money.
So you can do
Great.
different abilities, different
Yeah.
colors, different faces.
inflate.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of wiggling around.
This is the best thing I've ever
Each
seen.
other in this thing.
Oh my god.
Little propeller hats,
This is the
inflatable
best.
hammers.
Motion controls?
Oh god.
Right? How bad would this be?
If this wasn't
great.
if this
Thinking
wasn't
about Persona.
if this wasn't going to be a direct competition for arms, I could see this to getting Switch support.
Fumble.
Oh, totally.
But yeah,
This is-
inflatality.
Yeah.
Sorry, like that is incredible. It makes me miss like Clay Fighter 33 and a third,
Dude.
Shaq Fu, right? All of those like
I don't
weird,
miss Shaq Fu.
like that is incredible.
That looks great.
Yep. Thank you for bringing that to my
Here for that.
attention.
You're
man.
welcome.
I've learned about like Ninja Pro Wrestling from the 80s, 90s.
WMAC Masters, inflatality. I'm your
I'm
guy.
just learning stuff today.
I'm your guy.
Are you
very
gonna learn
glad
me
to
some stuff
know.
about E3 predictions? Are you gonna
Let's
learn me
get
about
into
that?
some E3 predictions. So
right.
this coming weekend, starting this week, it's been getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
Is the E3
Yes.
process starting this weekend? The EA Play event is going to be happening on Saturday with their press conference being the first press conference of the year,
Yeah.
which is new. It's usually sandwiched between Sony and Microsoft,
Right.
but EA is going to be the first taste of stuff that we're going to be getting. So we're going to be doing various predictions as well as a crazy prediction. Which may be super crazy, maybe a little outlandish.
Yeah.
Mine aren't super
No,
outlandish.
neither are mine.
But
I got a
it's
couple.
still
We'll
like
try it.
maybe. So EA, they've got a lot going for them.
They
Stacey,
do.
what do you think is what's one of your predictions? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, I'm looking forward to Battlefront. I do want to go and play it.
What specifically about that? You think they're going to get really into the
I-
single player, the narrative campaign?
They're actually doing two
Yeah,
gameplay
it
reveals.
great.
They're revealing the single player, the single player, as well as they have announced it is the Battle of Theed, which
Okay.
is the main city of Naboo, where it's going to be clone troopers versus
Phenomenal.
battle droids.
Give me
Yeah.
hook it to my veins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but they also announced that you could either with Rey or Darth Maul in the middle of it. So it looks like you can be any generation
Yep.
of soldier or special character.
But I mean,
Yeah,
on
it's like
stage
opened
for
up.
their presser, do they get into the single player content?
Oh sure.
Okay. I mean, I think so
Yeah.
too. I was
I
just
think they're
curious
going to
yep,
demo
yep,
single player.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're gonna have it open for.
Speaking of Star Wars, I think we're going to get we're finally going to get the reveal of the Visceral Games Amy Hennig project that they've been talking about for years.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. At least maybe not even a date.
I know,
but
please,
like,
please,
here's the
please.
story trailer.
It's all I want.
Story
It's
trailer.
literally all I
Something.
want. Just the snippet they showed looked unbelievable, and this could be my most anticipated title.
Ooh.
So good. I don't know. I mean, her pedigree's phenomenal. The license is awesome, and like the promise of like a gritty, lived-in Star Wars like 1313 kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, please, she's so talented. That whole group is.
She's
So,
amazing.
I'm very excited about that.
Did I take one of your predictions?
So I've got a weird one for EA.
Oh, please.
It's
Okay.
not Star Wars related. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna look right here. My prediction this year is that we see a narrative campaign in Madden. I think there is a follow your player.
Sure. We got that with FIFA last year, and
We
it was
got it in
pretty
FIFA. They're
successful.
moving that direction. They've never done anything like that with Madden. I think this is the year that it's a create a player for football. So
American football.
American football. Yes.
What's another one of yours, Stace?
You know what? There's a lot of EA titles that I haven't really gotten into. I don't do any of the sports stuff.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. Yeah, I'm not huge on the driving. I know I'm going to stay very far away from Sims because that's a hole I refuse to fall back down.
Climbed out of that pit once.
No.
Oh, I've climbed out of that pit more times
Cli-
than I can
one of,
climbed out of
one
that-
of those things.
Climbed out of that pit
and
like
I
Talia
need-
al Ghul.
I need to just stay away. And
Okay.
Yeah. Just
that's
about all of their stuff. Anything
well,
you're
no,
excited?
the Star Wars stuff I'm looking forward
Right.
to. But
yeah.
that's,
I think we're gonna get
bad.
probably another update for Knights or the Old Republic, just because that's how they do. I think we're gonna get a new EA Sports game, a new sport under the EA Sports line.
Okay. For example,
I don't know.
that's a pretty bold prediction.
I mean, why not? Because it's been a couple years. I think they switched the EA Golf to every other year, so I think we're due. But like they tried EA UFC or EA MMA.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah,
I'm going to
water
disagree
polo.
with that, but we'll.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I don't think so. I don't know that that's a safe bet. But again, we're throwing crazy stuff out there, so whatever.
I mean, that's why I think we're going to get more cute indie darlings that nobody's going to play because EA doesn't have a good mechanism of being like,
No, but it really bought him a lot of goodwill. That Unravel game from
It
a couple
did,
years ago,
but
it didn't sell well, but
it
I
didn't
feel like
sell.
they did, the world loved it. And I think
It was
for a company who was
so
voted,
precious.
that guy was so cool. But this is a company that literally was voted worst company in the world over Bank of America, mind
Yeah.
you. 2-3 years in a row. I feel like they could use some goodwill, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an Unravel too. That's not a prediction, though.
Oh.
I think I really, this is half prediction, half hope, but I want to see the new BioWare IP. The one that
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I was like-
I'm very much hoping they finally take the lid off of that. It's probably a 2019 game, but
when do we start seeing stuff about Andromeda? Years ago. Like, hey, a new
they said
Mass
we're
Effect is in
working
development.
on- yeah,
Wasn't
yeah,
that
2 years.
2015 was when it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
for
Mass
sure.
Effect.
They announced on an earning call though this is like a 2019 game.
Okay.
So it's still a ways out, but would be really interested to see. I think it's going to be Destiny. Like, it is a games as service, so I think it's going to be very similar to. This is going to be their EA, their move into games as service. This is their Destiny clone.
Well,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a huge open
Yep.
world, right? One that we've never seen before. So
Fingers crossed.
That's what they all say.
That's
It's
what
like,
they
it's like
all
take a
say.
drink.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
a drink.
yeah.
My crazy one is I think that they're going to be eliminating paid DLC. Because for Battlefront 2, there's not going to be a traditional season pass. Like in terms of the
No.
games as a service,
Right.
if you eliminate that second, third, fourth entry point, then people keep playing for a lot longer.
It's just smart. It fractures your audience. I mean, for sure, there will be. But if you want to say paid DLC, their maps and whatnot will continue to be free, but they'll continue to be microtransactions, cosmetics.
No,
stuff.
that's what I
Totally
mean.
have to
Cosmetic.
monetize that.
We're gonna go
totally.
the Overwatch route.
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
gonna-
as you should. Totally. Yeah.
but yeah, you get
think that's-
access to everything,
Yeah.
so
And-
that everyone can play.
And again, it's a great bullet point, right? Like, say that on the stage. I think that buys you a lot of goodwill. So, do you guys think we see Respawn's Star Wars game this year?
Is it
Okay.
Respawn working with Visceral?
No, Respawn's got their own their own Star Wars title they've been working on outside of Titanfall. They showed a mocap of it in their conference last
That's
year.
right.
And I
That's
don't know.
right.
Nobody knows anything about it. The speculation is like a lightsaber heavy game. I'm really interested to see what they do. Those guys
That's
are
right.
crazy
So-
talented. I hope we see it. Like,
Yeah.
give me more Star Wars, please, please,
Something.
please. But I don't know. I think that it's still really early on. And Respawn's an 80-person team, so they just rolled off of Titanfall 2, and still adding. They added a Titan this week, so I think no,
There's-
but I'd be interested.
They probably switch teams where it's like, all right, now we have the
Right.
support team, and then
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else from EA?
I don't.
No, that was.
You sure?
all
Okay.
of them.
Then the next conference is going to be Microsoft.
Oh boy,
All right, so
Well-
needless to say, it's going to be all about Scorpio.
lot riding on this year for them.
So
lot
I-
riding on this.
I
Let's
think
talk about
even
Scorpio.
more so than Scorpio just being revealed, I think it'll be dated for summer 2017.
Summer.
I think it's coming soon.
They've
Probably more
got
fall. No, do you think holiday?
holiday would
August?
I think. August makes sense
Yeah.
because they have the people who will pre-order it immediately.
Yep.
Like you got to take advantage of the people who don't have time to think about
That's
stuff.
true.
That's what happened to Watch Dogs.
so
They'll
yo.
lock it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be refreshing Amazon while I'm watching the conference. Like, yes.
But so that way they have a number that they shoot for before holiday season,
Yep.
so that while they hit that number, they're also in production for their winter stuff.
I think it's really
Winter
Okay.
stock.
I think it's super smart.
Yeah.
I think the very first game that was dated for Scorpio was that Shadow of War. And
That's
that
right.
and that was in August. I think they'd be really smart to get out of Q4, get out ahead of Q4 if they can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it'll happen. That's one of those like, come on, baby, do the right thing. That sets yourself up. Do you think August? Do you think they get a date?
Yeah, I think we'll get a date and
Date
a
and
price
price?
point. Yeah, I think.
I want to hear price. What do you guys think?
Probably same as PS Pro 400.
Yeah.
$399. I think that's a smart thing. I'm weirdly hearing that it's going to come in a little bit higher. That it'll ship with an
That's what I've
SSD
seen
and
a
a Pro
lot.
controller, and I think it might hit $599.
$600? Oh my
Look,
gosh.
I think they're positioning this. Look,
Yeah.
I think Phil Spencer, his whole play here is to consolidate PC gaming and Xbox brand.
This is the last console you'll have to buy.
I mean, 100%. I think we'll see price cuts on the Xbox One S. I think they'll cut that and they'll just call that the Xbox now. And we have 2 SKUs. And this is their high-end PC rig. And they're going to just collapse those ecosystems.
Sure.
I could be way wrong, but if it's just with an SSD and a Pro controller, like, he's just on record saying this is a luxury console, or well, not luxury. I'm butchering that, but a high-end for the elite.
Right.
It's a luxury item. What do you got, Stacey?
As far as Xbox, so I was really excited last year to see the State of Decay, the
Yes.
second, the game, the little bit that we got. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more on that.
I think so
more
too. The
solid.
game that they've been talking about it for a really long time, and I really want to get some sort of a hands on it. Sea of Thieves. The new Rare property, the pirate property, like that just looks like if it's Destiny with pirates,
Totally.
I'm in.
I think
I am so in.
We'll get a
fun.
date.
Yeah.
We'll get a
A
date
lot of fun.
on Sea of Thieves.
If it's not 2017, jeez. And along that route,
it's a
Cuphead.
it's a
For
launch
God's
title.
sake, I played Cuphead 2 years ago.
I know, totally, and it's hard as shit.
Yes,
like, that game
yes,
is
it
so
is.
hard.
Carrot
Yeah.
kicks my
Yeah,
ass.
Yeah, you think Surge is hard. Yeah, just like, yeah, totally. I love Cuphead. I hope that's a launch title.
Hopefully Cuphead's coming out in 2017.
Hopefully, it's coming out they're like it is available now.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And to that, I think they're going to push even more the like, hey, indie games love
Right,
us.
right.
Look at how well Inside did because we had that as a first buy it on Xbox first.
15 minutes, but yes, yeah, totally.
And with Scorpio, they've got to reveal their VR plans.
Yes. It's
Okay,
time for Microsoft to pull up.
You think?
I mean, if they're going to do something big and grand
Yeah.
to go along with Scorpio, because everyone's expecting Scorpio. So what are they going to do that's big and grand? They're going to introduce VR.
So I think here's what I hope happens.
Hope versus
they,
faith.
like this
Right.
code. This tone. Here's I hope that they literally say day and date. It's compatible with Oculus, and that means every title in the Oculus store is now playable. Like how smart would that be? You could literally say I'm launching with 200 VR titles or 300, whatever is in the Oculus store right now. It makes all kinds of sense. They've kind of had a toe in that water from a relationship perspective for a long time anyway. So I'm interested to see. And we know Oculus is not attending the show this year, so I think maybe they only show up in that capacity. That's my hope.
Okay.
Pivoting from that, something that I think that the VR system is going to launch with, and they're going to have a bundle with the Scorpio and the VR and a game to go with it, Fallout 4 VR. Let's move to Bethesda.
Yep.
We're going to get a full demo and a full date. Fallout 4
Totally.
VR is coming out.
But
this
that's not. That will happen. I'm actually think that might happen at Microsoft's conference.
Really?
I don't think that'll be.
I don't think
Right.
Bethesda has enough.
But I think they're going to bundle with Microsoft for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have any more Microsoft before we move on to Bethesda? Because I'm curious to see if you guys had anything else around Microsoft.
Gears 5, Halo 6, like that. I get excited for the Microsoft conference, and then when it's over, it's like, oh, they didn't really say anything. Like I rewatched all of the conferences, and last year's Microsoft was like, especially because what was the Dragon game? Scalebound?
Scalebound,
Oh.
yeah.
The thing that I bought an Xbox One for,
Killed.
they spent
Ooh.
like 15 minutes
Yeah.
going like, yo, Scalebound!
I know, and woof.
Nothing.
That was the game I would have bought an Xbox One
Is that
for.
true? Man.
It looked so
I thought it looked dope
I
too. The
was
headphones, you're just
into
riding, you're
it.
jamming with your dragon. I know, I totally was into it.
And so, yeah.
So let me ask you guys really quickly before we move on. Do we think Crackdown 3 is dated, and is that going to be a launch title for the Scorpio? Has to be, right?
I don't think it'll be a launch date for Scorpio.
No. Okay.
If
It's coming up this soon.
If Scorpio is holiday, then yes. But if it's August, then no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think they actually even give the line, what used to have to be in the cloud, because remember they pitched all that computing had to leverage the Azure cloud. I think they're going to say, is now hosted locally only on Scorpio. I know.
They do like their developer camera talking things.
Forza.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you're right. I think we'll see 343 is going to show something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just really interested. Last thing I have on Microsoft. This is my long shot. Come on, this has to happen. The Coalition was working on an IP before they were moved off of that
Yeah.
onto Gears. Maybe they've been in pre-pro working on that, and that Phil Spencer said repeatedly they're investing in new IPs, and we'll see them soon. So I'm hoping we see it comes out of nowhere. It's
Yeah,
this whole
new IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like last year, we got a new IP with Recore, and that didn't. People were super stoked about it.
Yep.
But it didn't sell a good gosh
and
dang.
it was half baked at best. So
Well, I'm interested in playing it because it's currently sitting behind Horizon Zero Dawn for something for me to play.
all right, fair enough.
I mean, I got it on sale for like $15-20. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll play it for $15-20. KG and Afane, I'm about it. Is there anything else that you want to talk about Xbox for?
As far
Sure.
as Xbox? No, that's all the big
Jump to
stuff.
Bethesda. Like, my crazy thing for them is I think we're going to get. I just want to jump to the crazy.
Do it.
We're going to get either HD re-releases of their classics or a classics, a Bethesda classics service where you can pay like $2-3 a month and you have access to all of the old
ambitious.
PC stuff.
All right.
It's cool. But yeah, ambitious.
Other than that, it's games. What games do you want to see from Bethesda, Stacey?
I'll take Skyrim VR.
Not happening.
Jeez,
It would be dope. It
no,
would be
but
dope.
could you imagine?
I know. Yes. Amen. And you and the rest of the world.
I don't know about not happening, dude, because it's already a game where you're a floating head with two arms. Like,
It's true.
They can
Actually,
make it happen.
That's true. I kind
It
of.
is totally plausible.
knee-jerked.
Eventually.
yeah,
That
might be
game's
their-
had some
I
legs
don't
too.
hope for this year, but
Yep.
come on, eventually.
Man.
Or if anything,
Give me that.
Elder Scrolls VR, where
Oh,
it's
yeah. Just enjoy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
something like
okay.
that.
Man, that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
fine.
I want Doom 2 to be announced in development.
Me too.
Just a trailer, anything.
I'd take a logo on screen. Just give me
That'll
some
do
more
it.
Doom. Yes, totally.
Something.
You really should play Shadow Warrior 2. I'm telling you, it's a lot like Doom. It's
Okay.
fast. It's
I mean, I got a
gross.
long ass list of stuff
I know
to
you
play.
do. I'm really interested to see what Machine Games is working on. I think we'll see some more Wolfenstein. I'd be shocked if we didn't see it.
We've got to.
There's a teaser screen, like a DOS prompt
Yeah.
screen that had like a something under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Wolfenstein 3 is probably going to be one of the worst kept secrets of E3. It's like, hey, are you surprised?
So yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see Evil Within 2, but I'm hoping that's not there. I'd really like to see Shinji Mikami. Like, I wasn't into the first one. I hope Mikami's doing something else more interesting.
Or if it's a Resident Evil 7-esque, like, hey, here's a completely different time,
Yeah.
completely different place, completely different characters, but it's the evil within.
But my fingers crossed is that, like, Todd Howard has said they have 2 new IPs that they've been working on that are of the same scale and size as Skyrim, Fallout, whatever.
Yes.
He didn't say RPG. He just said of that scale.
Something like Rage.
I liked Rage. I was a Rage apologist. That game felt so good.
Rage
It didn't sell
apologist.
at all, and the multiplayer was a dumpster fire. But that game was real fun.
All right. So anything else for Bethesda?
Mega textures. No.
Okay. Speaking of mega textures.
Yes.
Sort of brisking through the PC gaming show. I tried watching it last year, and it was just a foreign language
insufferable,
to me.
too.
It was pretty
Yeah.
rough. So the only thing that I have is stronger tech. We're at 4K now. We're probably going to get some more Ks.
Oh, more Ks.
And
Adding the K's on.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And we're going to get some awesome keyboards. Middly, middly, moo. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about our good friends over at Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
I mean, they've essentially announced everything that they're going to talk about. Are we going to get any surprises?
My favorite thing, maybe in the conference, last couple of years, was when they did the Watch Dogs and when they did Division. That like their one more thing moment.
One more thing.
I really hope it's Splinter Cell. I really,
The movie
really.
version, right?
I would take it.
What I was going to
Sure.
say. My crazy thing is
Sure.
we're going to get a movie announcement.
That's mine too.
Yeah,
Sure.
of something. Like
I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe even
Division,
yeah,
something.
exactly. They just showed Jake Gyllenhaal running down the street. Like,
10 seconds of that, done.
I
like
wouldn't be
now
sur-
in production.
But I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if we did get a lot of Division Year 2 talk regardless. That
Sure.
game sold through the roof. It was one of the best selling games of the year. And like, they're going to double down on everything they're doing well. Ghost Recon Wildlands is, as of right now, the best selling game of the year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible. For Honor charted #1 and #3 on NPD's February and then March. So that also has been doing phenomenal. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
For
be
Honor's
surprised.
they've got a huge community.
You wouldn't. So I think we're going to see that. And like, obviously, the thing that they're going to spend a good chunk of time on has got to be their bread and butter, right? We're going to see some Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, I mean, it's
We've got all the leaks coming out.
it's all
They're
been confirmed.
I mean, yeah, we essentially know what's coming with that now, but we haven't had any big official releases. So
Are you guys excited about it? Like, that is
Yeah.
my question.
actually, yeah, I'm
super excited.
I'm into this one.
What is this? What do they have to do? For you guys who are just on board in general, what do they have to do for the general public to get people back on board in a big way? Because I still think their last one, Syndicate, was arguably the series best.
Syndicate was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games since Brotherhood.
Since
And
Brotherhood,
and Brotherhood
super
is
agree.
one of the best
Yeah.
games in the franchise.
Agreed.
I mean, and I feel like with this one, they're kind of bringing in a lot of the stuff that they had with Syndicate, and also throwing in a little bit of the fun that Black Flag had. So I'm
Ship
there.
stealth. That's
I'm
all.
there
it's
for that.
Just, please don't give me a ship stealth.
Well,
Which, by the
okay.
way, can I tell you? I never actually said on air. Your cosplay was awesome. Super good. Anyway.
I regardless, people are craving a new Assassin's Creed right now. I think, like, regardless, the movie wanted either, whether they liked it or not, had people wanting a new Assassin's Creed experience. And I think they're going to learn a lot from, as Ubisoft does, they learn a lot from all of their other franchises.
Sure.
And I think we're going to see some elements always. I'm just so excited, like seeing Wonder Woman, and having the scene where they're like trying to infiltrate the city, and it's just action and then moving and like kind of parkour here and kind of there. So, and even I saw Pirates of the Caribbean, which also made me go, I'm gonna reinstall Black Flag.
Really?
Like both of those
Fun time.
movies made me super stoked for Assassin's Creed again,
Dude.
and I'm super into it. And I've really got to beat all of those other games because I want to play Assassin's Creed day one.
I'm
a day one
missed
Assassin's kid.
Creed, so I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go back. For
my
something good.
prediction with the Assassin's Creed though is games as service, guys. This will be one of those games you play like The Division forever. I think
agree.
it's going to be a revamp of the entire structure.
I can agree with that as well. We're also going to get a lot of Far Cry 5, even though they already announced that. I think we're going to get some gameplay stuff.
Super hope so. Are
Yeah.
you guys excited
Gameplay
as I am?
date.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that looks
looked
rad.
Crazy.
Yeah, so excited.
I'm
Yes.
excited. I like
I don't wanna wait.
I like the controversy because it's not a controversy.
I
Not at all.
couldn't agree more.
What the
about it.
hell?
How
This
interesting is this?
This is what.
I'm so.
This is American life,
Seeing
asshole.
this coming out of the
It's
woodwork.
phenomenal.
Good time.
And I hope we get to see some sort of a Switch presence because there's a lot of rumor that Ubisoft and Nintendo are coming together for something
Yeah.
big with Mario and the Rabbids.
Yep.
Which I don't think we'll see until Nintendo's announcement. But
Right.
some sort of we've got Assassin's Creed coming to the Switch, Far Cry 5 coming to the Switch. That's one of my main things for Nintendo is we're going to get a lot of major third-party support for the Switch.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Switch is sold better than Nintendo even, like, I would imagine budgeted for. So I wouldn't. And Ubi's always early adopter on most platforms, right? They want to get that IP on there as fast. So, like, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Even
just
though
tough, though.
they just bailed on the Wii U so fast.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
like,
didn't try very hard with that one.
But I think that that platform is so limited. Like, I don't know how you port Far Cry 5.
Well, let's talk about that when we get
Right.
to Nintendo.
Perfect.
Anything else about Ubisoft? We're going to get some Yves Guillemot. We're going to get some Aisha Tyler.
I love me some Aisha Tyler.
Always
do we
good.
get any talk of South Park?
A final launch trailer, launch trailer.
Yeah, okay. And then they move
Yeah.
on. Yep, okay.
Yeah, nothing big. I don't think if there's any. I don't think they're going to show any gameplay stuff because
No, I
it's
doubt it.
just RPG. Let's talk about who's got the brand that's got the most to gain, and I think maybe not the most to lose. I think that's Microsoft. Microsoft may have a little bit more writing on E3 this year
Yes, they do.
than Sony does. What do we think we're going to see from Sony this year?
Sony's potentially the most interesting conference this year.
They're
they
always
got
the
a
most interesting
lot.
conference. They started with a damn orchestra
They were
last year. People
incredible.
said,
Yeah, they
"What's
did.
the
Totally
point?
agree.
What is this? What's
Yes,
happening?"
I super agree.
And
Wonderful.
then we got God of War right at the jump.
Let's
I mean,
start with
we'll
God of
get
War
more
then.
God of War, yeah.
So, is it dated this year?
I think we got a release date.
When's that date?
I think we get a quarter.
Oh, yeah, I can get
Quarter?
behind that.
Okay.
Or
All
a
right,
month.
quarter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
a month,
when is it?
maybe
Is
a
it Q1 2018?
I think. Do we have a release date for Uncharted yet?
We do not. No.
I think it's been said that it's 2017 though.
Great.
So it'll be fall.
Oh,
Great.
I did not write that
Okay.
down.
So that's the thing is
Yeah.
the main thing that I think we're getting from Sony this year is going to be release dates.
We're gonna get a couple, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Because we've got a bunch
Some
of
of the-
games that we've seen
But it's
in
just,
the woodwork.
but they're so far out, right? Like Death Stranding is way
I'm
out
not talking
there.
about
that
Death
one's-
I
Stranding.
yeah,
think
that we're not
Spider-Man is 2 more years
I think
out.
Spider-Man is
Easily.
pretty long out, which is why they didn't even talk about it.
They didn't title it. It was
Just like-
hashtag Spider-Man PS4. There's not even a title for that damn game yet.
I think we'll get dates for Days Gone.
I think Days Gone is this year.
I think Days Gone is this year too.
I think
They've got to
I
get it
agree.
out.
Bend has been working on the game for like since well, they've scrapped some projects, but like since what was the
It's been a-
Uncharted the Golden Abyss
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
since
last
Vita.
Bend game that
Since
shipped.
Vita.
That's crazy.
That needs to get us out also just because that can't get too close to The Last of Us because they're somewhat they're not alike. They're similar-ish.
But they got to get out of the way.
They've
gotta
got,
get out of the
they've
way.
got the feel, to where
Yeah.
you don't want to release them too close together.
But I also think
man.
Last of Us 2 is a long way away too. I think
is.
that's winter. That's holiday 2018.
I think so, or
However,
early
we
2019.
might get a little another teaser trailer or something.
We do.
Do we think we get
gotta-
gameplay?
No.
No,
No.
not yet.
Nope. No.
I don't think so.
Do we and God of War? That it depends on what the winter looks like, but I can easily see that being a spring 2018.
It's a February 2018.
February, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm saying early, which would be real bad for Far Cry if let's say God of War just like, yo, that's our date. Yo,
Kick him out.
yo, we own this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it over.
Yep.
Anything else? Well, I mean, there's plenty else, but like, where do we go from? Any surprises you're
I'm
expecting?
gonna hope for some Horizon Zero Dawn DLC.
I think that's a given.
I think
I
it's
think so too,
yeah,
but I
take
hope
that
they
to the
make that.
bank.
I've
I
seen-
mean, bring it on at E3.
I
though.
think they do, right? I think
Bring
that they
it
come
on.
out. I think that they bring the Horizon team out. They celebrate. They might even trot out numbers, right? Like, I mean, they're really proud of that
They
IP.
Sony
Do
likes
it.
numbers.
Yeah.
Sony likes numbers.
Go for it.
So yeah, like I'd be. I mean, we're gonna see. Like, I've got a whole list. We're obviously gonna see Detroit, which I think they'll date.
I think they'll take that too.
They'll date. I think we see gameplay for Detroit.
Sure.
Call of Duty will be there, obviously. I think we
Right.
see Bloodborne 2.
Also, isn't that weird how
Call of Duty?
has been a Microsoft staple, and then the past 3 years it's
Yep.
Sony.
Jumped on
Yeah,
over.
you got to pay that cash.
They know
son.
they know where the fans are,
I
man.
mean, yeah. So I think we'll see Call of Duty gameplay. I think we see Bloodborne. I think a lot of
Bloodborne
Destiny.
2, I think is a lot of Destiny, an exclusive Strike.
I think they show that they actually show the Strike. Yeah, they lean into that Destiny relationship.
It's 2 years ago. Shuhei Yoshida was talking about a new IP from Sucker Punch that he
it to me.
played.
Give it to
This
me.
was 2 years ago. So I
Really?
think
Badass.
during E3 2 years ago,
Okay.
where he was like, "Yeah, I played it. It's pretty great."
Great.
And we haven't seen anything of it.
Hook
So
me
I
up.
think it's going to be one of
Bring
those.
it.
Here's a new thing. It looks really awesome. You can play it in 2 months.
It's time.
yeah.
I mean, it
Great.
really is time for
I'm
those
going
guys,
to
and
miss
that's
Infamous.
exciting.
I'm going to miss
Me
Infamous.
too.
I love me some
I do
Infamous.
too.
But
I'm with you.
it's time. Yeah.
So I actually really think, they just eclipsed the million unit mark shipped for PSVR, and so I actually think if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said probably won't be seeing a ton. I think we're gonna see some VR games, guys.
We're going to get double down on VR.
Yeah.
I think they are, and
Makes
I hope that they pull another what they did with Resident Evil, that we see a AAA game that you can play other places, but you have a whole PSVR experience. And as a PSVR owner, I'm dying for shit to play. Hook me up, give me the Battlefield 2 VR experience.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff that was announced a long time ago that we haven't heard anything about in a long time, the full HD remake of Resident Evil 2. Steve in the booth is making sure
excited?
that we talk about that. No, like we talk about Resident Evil 7, or we talked about Resident
Yeah.
Evil 7 as it was coming out, and while he was playing it on the hardest difficulty. He's crazy.
And damn good at
Terrifying.
games too.
What franchise gets VR? I'm gonna double down on yours.
All right.
Horizon Zero Dawn
Oh.
VR DLC, where you get to see the
Yeah.
long necks walking past you.
Yeah.
Like
I want
whether
this.
whether it's actual straight up gameplay, but you've got a bow for God's
I
sake.
want it.
Heard it here first. Horizon Zero Dawn is gonna get VR
Man.
DLC.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be rad. That would be sold. Sign me up.
I mean,
man,
that-
that'd be badass.
That's why I got a
So
PS4
good.
Pro,
That's what I'm
dude.
talking about.
I really want to get PSVR. So far, a lot of the stuff for it looks pretty good.
Yep.
This year, I want it to pull the trigger and go, before I buy a Nintendo Switch, which I really want to get, I'm going to buy PlayStation VR.
So talk to me about the Pro. I'm really interested to see this year. This is the first we've had these mid-cycle upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do they show every trailer and go running on PS4
Yes,
Pro?
they do.
They have to, right?
Yes, they
they
do.
will.
That's going to be so
Absolutely.
weird.
If Microsoft is going to be doing, hey, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio,
They
Scorpio,
have to.
They're
they've
gonna
got
play
it.
up that pro.
And it has to be the disclaimer because they show PS4 Pro features or whatever, and it just doesn't look as good like when it ships on vanilla PS4. Man, that's weird. Games are weird.
Games are weird.
Games are weird right now.
Games
This
are
is
very
awesome.
weird.
It's a fun time to be a gamer.
So if it's not Horizon,
Yep.
and if as your predictions for Fallout 4 VR appearing at the Xbox conference,
Or this could be here.
what that would
Why
be
not?
insane.
It'd be a good get because if they go Oculus route on the Xbox side, right, and they have all those whatever 2 million titles, it sounds better than it probably is. And these guys, and they had a PS4, and I don't think so though, because the relationship there is a little bit strained.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a tough get, but if they got it, it would be amazing.
It would be like when Call of Duty first showed up at a Sony conference. People went, "What?"
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else we got from Sony?
I think I'd be interested. Do we get Spider-Man gameplay at all?
I think we get a name.
Okay,
Name.
great.
I mean,
Let's name-
maybe a shot of something,
Yeah.
or an official logo, yeah.
Or a celebrity cast, something like that.
Yeah, maybe something smaller than gameplay.
do.
'Cause if it's that far, if it's far away, if it's 2-3 years away, it's gonna be like, "Hey, remember?" and that's it.
Yeah.
Just a little reminder.
'Cause they do 90-minute conferences, so it's.
Do we get a Death Stranding trailer? I'm gonna say yes.
I
Wanna
think
know
we
your
get
take.
another tease.
Dude,
I do think we get another tease.
There were rumors
Give me a break.
of another big Hollywood actor joining the cast. That actor being Emma Stone.
Okay.
It's rumor because there's like one guy who like photoshopped something, but there are pictures of her leaving the studio that's doing like the
I'm not
mocap
up on
for.
this. Okay.
So it's like I don't know if this is real or not. Nobody knows if this is real or not. Regardless, I think it's going to be another reveal like we had the actors reveal in the second Death Stranding trailer.
Okay.
It's just going to be a whole bunch of media that's going to make us go, wait. So the tanks are alive and the baby and like what?
And they're going on simultaneously. Did you see that
Yes,
super
I
cut?
did.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really interested to
get
see what
crazy.
they do. I have a bunch of others that I'm not sure where to slot them. Are you done with Sony? Because these could be applicable to Sony.
One last thing for Sony specifically.
Yes.
I think despite still being a couple of weeks out from the Crash Insane Trilogy remaster,
Okay.
we are going to get a Spyro remaster.
Interesting.
Because, everybody complains about Skylanders, but it's making so much money. So without having to necessarily dedicate to a whole new engine, whole new
Yep.
this, whole new that, you give fans what they want, staves them off from hating on Skylanders.
Yeah.
Who knows what?
Fair.
We're going to get Skylanders somewhere in this week.
Yeah.
And so why not? Spyro's taken. I just miss Spyro. Spyro 3 is one of Spyro 3 is one of my
Back to me, Spyro.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Spyro
Yeah.
3 is one of my favorite games of all time, especially on the PS1. But yeah,
I think they're going away. They're one more thing right before the trailer
Yeah.
is, by the way, we just cut prices on the PS4 and the Pro. I
PS4
think
Pro going down to $350.
both of them, yeah, sure, call it $50, but like, what a way to drive the screws into, especially if Microsoft comes out higher than anticipated. If it's $4,599, like imagine them cutting both of those SKUs. Like, woof. Man, I again,
They've done it
$50.
before.
I know,
Yeah.
and I think it would just be unbelievably shrewd if they cut it $50, both of those SKUs.
Makes a big enough difference.
I mean, totally, yeah. Get
So
4K for even cheaper. Like, oh man,
I think Sony's
Yeah.
biggest workday and busiest workday is the second that the Microsoft conference ends. All right.
let's make some slides.
How do we
Come on.
how do we cut these
Slides.
how do we cut these
Yeah.
prices? Can we get these parts cheaper?
Yeah.
This, that, like how can we still make money and undercut?
I think, man, I'm just saying.
Sony's
that
got it, dude.
I would be really impressed, and they've been going for the jugular of late, so I'd be interested to see how that goes.
All right, so
Yeah.
I know you've got some other stuff.
Sure.
But before we get into the Wildlands, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually coming out as of this recording. Tomorrow is a Pokemon themed Direct. So they're not going to be talking about any Pokemon. Well, they're going to be probably talking a little bit about Pokemon on their Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
At E3, but tomorrow is going to be the bulwark of all of their their Pokemon stuff, which I think leaves room, as I mentioned before, for a lot of third-party support. And I think we're going to get a big Nintendo franchise coming to the Switch at holiday 2017, holiday 2018, but at least like, hey, we're working on Star Fox, or hey, we're working on Metroid, or hey, we're working on this, because Nintendo does that.
I would love a Metroid. Give me a Metroid.
Everybody
Give me a
would.
Metroid. Except they don't historically sell that well. So like, people say that, and all of us like have fond memories of that stuff, but then people don't buy it. So I don't know. I think it's 50-50 we see a Metroid. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Give me a
It would be
Metroid.
awesome.
What else do we got?
I want to know if you guys think there's going to be a Mario Maker port. I think even money there, but I'd be interested to see how do they realize that on Switch.
Well, they already did. They did it on it came out on the 3DS, and it didn't have sharing. So, which is dumb. It was so dumb. Like
you kidding me?
like you couldn't use download codes. It was just a Street Pass.
No,
It was-
that's
it was
not
so
okay.
dumb.
No, I did not know this.
So It's within the realm of possibility if they're already porting it to other places, but I don't think that. I think we're gonna get another deluxe, like we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think we're gonna get another like Smash Brothers Deluxe or something, where it comes with
I would
all
see
of
that
the DLC.
totally.
And because the Switch is both a home and portable console, it'll come with all of the stages from both the 3DS and the Wii U version.
Yeah.
And it'll be the
Yeah.
definitive Smash Brothers thing, and then that sticks to the esports that they're trying to push with Splatoon 2 and stuff like that. What do you think,
Yeah.
Stace?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a lot of success with bringing over their titles and with people wanting to play the Switch, so I think that'll keep up.
Any
for
franchises
sure.
you want to see?
I guess nothing in particular. I did hear, not one I'm terribly personally interested in, but they are going to be bringing some EA titles over, some of the sports titles.
Okay, that's good.
I actually think this whole conference, I think that would be my crazy prediction for their direct would be, I think you're going to see a lot of third-party support
That's
for
what
the
I want.
first time.
They
It'd be-
need it.
They
They
need
need
it.
it.
But it's beat all projections by all accounts. They've got a runaway hit right now, and so I wouldn't be surprised if people were getting on board kind of in a big way, and we saw some unexpected, kind of watered-down versions of other AAA games.
And the NBA Hoops or whatever it's called. There's an NBA game that came out for the Switch that's 2-on-2.
Oh yeah, the NBA Jam wannabe. Yes, totally.
Its launch was a little rough, but it ultimately the developers are listening to everybody and they're making improvements, and it's a constant conversation. So I don't think we're going to see Destiny 2 on the Switch.
Nope.
But
Likely.
I agree we're going to see some.
Because you need to be able to chat in Destiny, I understand.
Well, you know, you plug the thing.
Yeah, no, don't get me started.
I like it. I like
Do
it
you
a
really?
lot
Okay.
because that only means that everybody has their phone on them, and that means instead of playing a game, checking your phone, you have your phone to be focused on the game. It's weird,
dog,
but instead of everybody buying this weird big receptor or anything, they're just making tech for something that everybody already has.
it's just like it's such a
It's
backward
just
solution.
different.
It's
So is motion control.
yeah, but like true. But like matchmaking and voice chat was dialed in at Halo 2 like 12 years ago. Like
Fair. No, you hate Halo.
I do hate Halo.
You do hate Halo.
I'm glad we can air that here.
Yeah.
I hate it so much that I have to play all of the campaigns several times. I need to.
That's
yes,
true hate.
It's
It
true.
really is.
Oh god, it's so good.
Clear logo. I
It's
see
so
it.
good.
But I think we're going to get sort of an expansion on what all of that tech is. My crazy prediction is one that people have been wanting since the Wii U.
Talk to me,
is
Goose.
Virtual console GameCube games.
Oh, all right.
And then that brings, because that also brings back Smash Brothers Melee.
Yep.
And-
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And to travel with that, just 4 people crowd around a thing with your Switch
Yep.
controllers on Temple, so nobody can see a damn thing.
I have a weird outlier hope for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think this would be dope as shit if they built like a Google Cardboard Samsung VR type unit that you could put the handheld in and
Switch.
strap to your face.
Yeah.
It's got the accelerometers. You've already got the 2 Wiimotes, so it's already like built for, or not Wiimotes, Joy-Cons. It's already built for VR. They've got accelerometers in them. To me, it seems like a good plug and play. I don't think Nintendo's that forward thinking, and they were already burned with the Virtual Boy. But how cool would that be?
But it's
How cool! Like, I don't need another excuse to buy a Switch, but that would definitely give me one for sure.
the skills. Yeah.
That would be part of it. Any other Nintendo stuff?
I think that was it for Nintendo.
I think that's for,
Sorry.
so wild predictions, Patrick. You just had a couple of things that.
I just want to know, like, I want to know if you guys think we'll ever see another Order game, because I don't think we'll get it, but I'd be really interested to see it at Sony. No.
I think if anything, maybe a movie or a short.
Maybe.
I just liked that world so much.
Yeah.
I want to know where Cyberpunk 2077 shows up. CD Projekt Red, their new title, the
That's right.
developers of Witcher 3.
That's
could
Scorpio.
be Sony.
That's Scorpio.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Because they've been consistently with Xbox for a lot of their announcements, so I think that's a Scorpio thing.
I really hope that happens. Okay, so fingers crossed. Did you see the trailer? They released not a gameplay trailer, but a
But was that recently?
tonal trailer. It's
Then no.
freaking awesome. Check that out. What about Rocksteady? What are they doing? Where are they showing up on anything? It's time.
The thing that I've been wanting Rocksteady to do for the longest time is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that's based on the comics.
Yeah.
It's a multiplayer Batman game with
On board.
similar action, but it's like Baxter Stockman, Krang, aliens, but yeah, same sort of darkness, but different.
I think they rumors that they were working on a Superman game. Like, I'm really interested to see.
They can't. Superman isn't a fighter.
I know. It's a tough problem to solve.
Ugh.
But, and then 2 more quick things. One, Jeff Keighley's hosting this whole E3 I don't know what they're calling it, the arena or whatever. Like, he's got his own stage there. Jeff's big on reveals. Does he think he has any exclusives that he's negotiated for his gig. He's got a big YouTube gig. I feel like he's got it. If anybody in this industry has enough pull to have a reveal that doesn't show up on one of these stages, it's Jeff. Do any of these things show up on his stage? No, right?
I would say so.
Okay.
I maybe one or two, but like
Right.
the Video Game Awards had a lot of big exclusives.
Totally.
So
He's in love with Kojima.
yeah.
Maybe we
He's
see
in
that
love
trailer
with
there.
Kojima. But like in terms of, I don't think he'll get a lot, but I
Right.
think he might get gameplay reveals that other people may not. You know, we'll get a lot
Yep.
of
Okay, I can see that. I
trailers
can
and
see
live
that.
demos.
I can see
He'll
that.
have the
I
that
could
makes
absolutely,
sense.
totally, and like a developer walkthrough where it's like a 10-minute gameplay,
Yeah.
deep
Right.
dive. I could totally see that.
I can see that.
And then two-parter, no Red Dead anywhere, right? They don't need it,
I think their announcement was, "Hey, we're not at E3."
right?
Yeah, they
totally.
pretty much.
They're not, but they could. There's a lot of validity from what I understand to the rumor that their trailer was at the tail end of the Sony one last year, but because of that shooting, they pulled that.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested. Also, super off key and not really insider information, but Rockstar's been Rockstar has a couple different teams. This is coming out at Rockstar San Diego. They have a lot of people that aren't involved in that. It's about time we could be hearing about another IP. How cool would that be if Rockstar just showed a logo and something one of the
So it's something we'd see in 5 years.
Sure. or maybe
very
that's been in
introductory.
pre-pro and been working on for 3 years. They pull
Maybe.
that core team off of GTA. They just have the live team working on that. That's a separate team.
And what was the franchise that we saw the logo of and not anything of ever again? Rockstar.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I totally know what you're talking about. But never again. We never heard anything
Yeah,
about
it was
that.
like
Imagine if that came
Agent.
back.
Agent.
You imagine if that came back, it showed up at Sony.
All of a sudden, there's a whole trailer, like
Oh,
a gameplay walkthrough. Like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, we delayed it because it's in VR. What up? Oh God. But speaking of that, Grand Theft Auto VR.
I'd play it, man. I played 5 twice, all the way through. I would play that thing a
So
third time
intense. That'd be
in VR.
crazy.
Now that
100%.
consoles and PC, it's just like a silly. But you're just like Trevor watching TV. Or
On
something.
board. Yes.
Why not? All
Sign me
right.
up.
Any other things that you hope to see from anything, any games that we didn't talk about? Just a wild hope that, hey, I hope this franchise shows up.
And I'll be that person. Come on, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nope.
Yeah.
I know, it's not gonna happen,
I think we'll
but-
get either still in development, or I think we'll get a year.
A year would be, the best
Yeah.
we can hope for.
Oh, you
if
think?
the best.
A year that they
The
won't.
best we
A year
can
that they won't stick to, but
They
a
said
year.
3
yeah.
years out or something along those lines. It has been a
But,
while.
but
since
I've also heard rumors and
Okay.
rumblings and stuff that it's coming out next year, whether it's done or not.
Great. They just ship a broken ass game.
Here, have
Doesn't
it.
get through
Well, dude,
cert.
this is
We're
the same.
done looking
here.
at it.
This is the same company that shipped Hitman piece by piece.
I know.
So there and
And then offboarded that whole
and then
group.
got rid of
Hi-yo.
Hitman, but was
Goodbye.
like, you know what? That was a great idea.
Games as service.
Episodic, dude.
Yep.
Like, I don't think we're gonna see
Hitman was so fun. Oh, it kills me.
Hitman joke.
Yeah,
That was good.
That was real bad.
It was pretty bad.
I've got one. I just would like to see some more BioShock. They kind of alluded to. They said on their earnings call last quarter that BioShock is and always will be a 2K tentpole. It's about time we heard about some new BioShock. I doubt Ken Levine's working on it, but
I'd be really into that.
yes, please give me some more.
Yeah.
It's
Just
especially
or
playing-
something Ken Levine.
Yeah, I know he's working on something. He's talking a little bit about narrative Legos that he's trying to build, but I think we're a little ways out on Ken. But I wouldn't be surprised if 2K Marin or somebody else was working on a new BioShock.
Yeah.
We got something on that.
We got
man
Jeff
can
2886 in the chat saying
Hey, Jeff.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
think that would be a place. I mean, that would be a great surprise for Ubisoft to do on one more thing.
Michelle Ansel's Instagram had a bunch of concept art, so I think there's some smoke there.
So we might get.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
And then Cullen Prime saying, "I hear Final Fantasy VII remake is still 3 years away."
They just pulled that in house.
Yeah.
They did.
I mean, yeah, that is a way. Do we get a trailer there? Did they even bother showing
We
that?
might get something just to kind of keep going with the excitement over the Final Fantasy property. We might get.
I'm hoping for a
Something
cool
still.
Capcom remake. That I heard Tim Geddes. It was one of the folks from Kind of Funny talked about a moment where we're gonna get a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite trailer that's going to be like character, which is going to lead into like this character which you can play in this remake, which is coming out for PS4. later
Oh,
this
that'd be
year.
cool.
Okay.
Something like that.
That'd be rad.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
if we've gotten a Mega Man collection, there's a Mega Man collection 2 coming out, but if there's some sort of a remake of like Mega Man X or something or something like the Resident Evil 2
I'm
or
on board.
something where it's like Claire Redfield, by the way,
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yep.
Though, oh dude, could you imagine if on the Capcom side there was like one of the bakers from Resident Evil 7?
that'd be cool. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Great.
Dude.
I mean, if they didn't already announce the final boss, or if like one of the final bosses was Granny, just a house with darkness. Oh man. So E3 is coming up this week. We're gonna be imbibing it in various ways through live streams. You're going to the EA Play event.
I'll be at EA Play and the Bethesda Land.
And going to the Bethesda
Yeah.
Land.
Bethesda Land.
Yeah, Bethesda Land.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be at EA Play. Are there still tickets for the Bethesda thing? Do you know? Are there still?
They sent out the confirmation, so
Damn
you
it.
like put your name in for the pool, and then they sent
then they
out
say,
the
all right,
invitation.
all right, missed it.
I have not heard updates on whether or not they're doing a standby line.
Okay.
Or
But-
+3.
No, they're with me. I know it says it's only for one person.
Well, you don't know
but
who I
they
am?
have to
I'm
come
sorry.
with me.
Yeah.
I don't know who
We're
I
a
am
unit.
either.
We're a squad.
Yeah. It's one squad, actually.
Right, yeah.
So let us know what you want to see from E3 in the comments down below, or on Twitter. Let us know what you thought of the Tekken movie down below or on Twitter. We're working on possibly doing something as a E3 wrap up. Stay tuned on Twitter for more of that.
I would love to recap this with you, see how right we were.
Yep.
How fun would that be?
So we're gonna hang on to these predictions here, and we'll talk about them sometime soon. But until then, Patrick, what are you working on? Where can the folks find you on these social medias?
Just Twitter right now. I mean, you can find all the nonsense about the football teams and the interactive stuff that I own there. I'm at Pete of the Dees. Tweet at me during the conferences. I tweet 1 or 2 times a day. Normally, I'm not the most active tweeter. During the conferences, I like literally, it's just an
Try to shut
unmitigated,
you
just
up.
blah, just like, okay, oh my god, this is a bit. And it's my favorite thing to interact with other people who are as passionate about the stuff that we're seeing in real time. So please find me at Twitter. I'm at Pete of the Dees. Let's talk E3 because this is a great time to be a gamer.
Stacey.
Yes, well, I get to watch the conferences live this year, so I'm really excited about that. So
Yeah.
I'll be tweeting constantly too. Find me on Twitter or Instagram at Stacey Shuttles, or over at Nerds Doing Stuff, because I'm a nerd doing stuff.
And you can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. We're constantly evolving the show here. We may be going away from the video game movie part of it, but I want to keep it as a part of the show. Regardless, let us know in the comments down below what you thought of today's show, the past couple of weeks' shows. Also on Twitter, use the hashtag VGMAnatomy. Yeah, at least for the moment. But yeah, we're working on some E3 stuff. Twitter's the best way. Follow the network at the Popcorn
Yes.
Talk. And if there's any sort of a thing that's happening, which we are trying to put together, you will find out by following us all there. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Video Game Movie Anatomy. We will see you at E3.
Yeah.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.